the point of diving is to get to a ball that I wouldn't be able to get to if I stayed on my feet. So as we stretch for a ball, we're gonna just focus on stretching with just our glove. Now what our throwing hand is doing. When I go stretch for a ball, again, I don't want it close because I'm not gonna be able to stretch as far, but I want it somewhere in front of me to where when I land, it's gonna brace my fall a little bit. I don't wanna stretch and bang on my hand first. What goes first when we dive? We stretch. Realistically, my thighs are gonna hit first, then my core and chest, and my hand is gonna brace that in the end. Okay, so I'm here, I go out for a ball, I stretch very far with my glove hand, my throwing hand is out front, I catch, fall, my throwing hand should be right around my right shoulder. Okay, I do not want to dive and have my throwing hand out here, like tucked in between my stomach. It's just, that's when wrists start to break, bad things happen. So we don't want our throwing hand by our glove, but we want it out front. So when we stretch, it can brace our landing. And the important thing with our throwing hand, it's here, so I catch the ball, great. Now I have to make the out. I push up with my throwing hand and get into strong throwing positions. So even if you throw from the ground, throw from your knees, you want to fall, pick up, push up with your throwing hand to throw that ball. So again, you're here, you're stretching out with your glove hand as far as you can go. My throwing hand is gonna be out front somewhere. I'm gonna land first, more on my legs, my stomach, and then my chest and hands will brace the fall. I'm out. Once I land, I'm pushing up with my throwing hand to get the ball out and throw. So if you're an infielder, I'll bounce the ball in the middle so they can catch it. If you're an outfielder, I'll just toss the ball in the air so they can dive and catch it.
Nice shot, man. Come. There it is, kid. Let's go, here we go. Oh, good try. Do it again. Yeah! Nice shot, Katie. Yeah, man.
My first tip is to lay out, right? To dive, to not be afraid to make these plays in both games and practices. So when you're taking infield, outfield, and maybe you don't have a whole lot of chances to do it in infield, outfield, but if you're in batting practice and you're on defense, don't be afraid to lay out for balls. Play it like it's a game. That's the only way you're going to learn and teach yourself. So that's the first tip. The second tip, before we get into the mechanics, is lay out on balls that you don't even think you have a chance to make a play on. There's so many plays when I was playing that there'd be a ball hit and I'd go after it and I'd literally in my head be thinking, I can't get to this ball, but I would lay out just to lay out, and all of a sudden I'd hit the ground and I'd pop up and the ball would be in my glove and I'd throw the runner out at first. And I literally thought there was no chance I could reach the ball. So you never know. Don't assume you can't get there. Lay out, reach out, try to make the play. And if you make it only 1 out of 100 times, it's worth it. Because with most younger players that haven't done it before, they're a little bit hesitant to fully lay out. A lot of times they'll go to dive and their knees will hit the ground first because they don't want to land on their chest, or they're on a flat body. And so you can see here when Bogaerts lays out, he's coming down with basically his full body. And when I watch young kids do it, they come right down on their knees first, they hit, and they almost kind of flip forward a little bit, and then they really come down hard. And it's just because they're a little bit hesitant to really lay out. And so my suggestion is find something soft and work on, maybe not going full speed, but work on feeling comfortable extending your arms and not being afraid to let your body hit the ground. That's the first thing. If you can do it, or I should say you have to be able to do it with no ball first and just get used to the feeling of extending, fully extending, getting out there and letting yourself land. And once you get comfortable and you're confident that you can do this, the second thing is you can put a ball in your glove again, and you can just work on getting up. So you can go on your knees and you can just flop over to your left or flop to your right, get down in position, and you're going to work on hopping up using your hands, using both hands, pushing off the ground, and trying to get to your feet as quickly as possible. I want to get my feet under me, right? So I just lay like this on the ground, both hands on the ground, glove and bare hand, and I'm going to push hard and try to hop to my feet. Once I hop to my feet, I then need to work on redirecting my body so that I'm in line to throw. And we do that by, just like we always talk about, replacing our feet. We want to take our right to our left and our left to our target. If you do that, no matter how you're standing, your feet will line up. As you can see here, Bogart's right to his left to his target, bang. Both feet are never on the ground at the same time. It's the only way to do it efficiently and do it quickly so that he can get lined up to throw. And then he throws. So he makes a difficult play look really, really easy. You may be saying, why is he fielding a ball on that side of the infield? They have the shift on. You can see Pedroia moving behind him there. Learn, like I said, out in the grass. Then what we do is ball and glove drills. You put the ball in your glove and you go through it again and you just lay out. You don't field anything. You lay out, you pop up, and you throw the ball. And then you progress to somebody rolling you a ball and you do it. And then you just keep progressing back, have somebody hit it. But again, once you kind of understand how to do it, the mechanics of it, and you feel comfortable, the best way from there to get better at it is to get into batting practice and just start laying out on balls. You're going to get, if you've got a team of 12 hitters or something, 12, 15 hitters, there's going to be a couple of balls each day in practice that you could lay out for. And again, even if you don't think you can get it, just lay out. That's the only way you're going to get better at doing it. You got to be able to feel comfortable and confident that you can make the play and you're not going to hurt yourself.